Hi guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Michael, and today I am just another liquidity trader looking into Bitcoin, where it's been, and where I think it's going to be going over the next 24 hours. So let's dig into it today. All right, so we're looking at the symbol on coinglass.com for the Bitcoin BTC liquidation heat map. And what we can see over the next 48 hours, there really isn't a there's a dense movement to the north side to the upside. So we've got a bit of density from 58,492, and it kind of finishes off at 59,190. Let's just drop that down into a 24-hour period, see if we can get a bit more context as we get a little bit more granular. Just a little bit more granular. There we go. All right, so we're still looking at that level above. We've got a sweep below us at 57,694, and then a thicker level at 57,345. All right, so let's just keep those in mind. Let's jump on over to Bitcoin. So what is giving us that credence to the upside is this imbalance, actually. So this is something that we've been watching from way back here that we could potentially have come up to fill, and now we've got the direction, we're building support, and now we're starting to challenge it. So just a quick recap on yesterday, we were looking at coming down to sweep a level of liquidity through here and use this level as a buy zone down here, but we didn't extend down far enough. However, had we just used this level where we had a liquidity level, we were on the buy side zone of the regressive trend channel, we could have been in a really nice juicy move. But I was looking for a deeper mitigation, a deeper move backwards, but we've moved 4.9% from that level. So that would have been a really nice grab, but we missed it, and that's okay. So I'm not chasing any trades from here. What I am looking for here is, so now we've come up, we're testing this liquidity level. We've got 58,490, where over here we are 58,492. How beautiful is that? So, perfect. So that's the edge of the imbalance, and then everything starts to get thick through the imbalance, because we've got over here, this is where a fair value gap is created thanks to ICT, but what we've got here is prices come down, it's fallen, retraced, and it has never come back to mitigate with wicks of these candles. Here was another fair value gap, and price came back, mitigated with wicks, and balanced out the market. Now, as we move over into this area, we are starting to challenge this imbalance. I would like to see, I'm not in a trade at this point, but I would like to see a slight rejection and to come down to this zone to buy up. I want to be on the buy side zone of this regressive trend channel, so the blue side. So this line through the middle is the average line, the mean, and if we come back to this side, that means we've reverted back into, there's been enough sell-off that gives us credence to sort of push back through and really take in a better position. Even though we might get, let's say we go from here and we enter the trade, and just to fill the imbalance we make 1.2%. But if we were to do the same thing from just this red line where we've got an hourly imbalance retest, we've got a wick rejection, and we just touched the bottom of that one, broken through, sorry. That gives us a 3.29% return. So it's 2.5% better, 2.5 times better, the percent return. So that is an area that I am looking over the next 24 hours to come through and to take a position. So as I'm recording this at 2:15 today, we do at 10:30 tonight have a PPI month-on-month alert, and so from there there's always a level of volatility, and it's generally in the opposite direction of where you think it will be going, and it gives it a real whipsaw in every direction. So price may start to come up. It may come up through and then fall back down to this level, or it may reject here, come back down, and then move up higher. I'm not sure, but that's the zone that I'm looking at putting an order in, so I can buy into this trend line to move up to higher prices. All right, let's just look at my notes. So we'll go into the S&P 500. What gives me support to go to the upside is that we have officially broken our protected high, which means that we are now able to confirm we can now convert that and we can start to look to the upside. So here we've gone, we used the high that caused the low, so that was the last move down before we started to move up, and now we're in this area. What I'm looking at here is that we are on the sell side of the S&P 500, so there is a thought and a credence that we could be coming down. We may retest the level at 55,280 to move up to higher prices. But I would like to see the S&P have a little bit of a retracement, a breather, and then come back up, because that was a massive impulse from all of yesterday from midnight. We've come back up. We had 5 hours, 6 hours of push, and now we've just been consolidating in the Asian session. So I'd like to see that come back down, retest, and then move to higher prices. We could also look at, this could be a level here where we wicked as a liquidity retest. This one was met. Why do I do that? That one was met, but we're also going to start challenging this level up here, this liquidity retest. So that's at 55,600. It's a nice round number. But we want to come back and test the 55.30 mark before we go up into higher prices. So as far as let's do that again. So I'm looking at taking a position through here in my futures portfolio to move up to higher prices in this direction of the regressive trend channel. I also want to point out that our VIX is falling. So with the VIX falling, that is bringing us down to, so less volatility is coming out of the market, less fear is coming out of the market, everything's just starting to have a bit of a breather. It's just starting to calm. We are seeing on the DXY that we are in the sell side liquidity of this regressive trend channel. And here, so as we've come up, we were expecting to go a little bit higher. We didn't quite get there, and that's fine. But we've wicked. So all of last night, we broke out, we pushed up, we even gapped up this morning, but now we're starting to come down to fill the gap and potentially fill this liquidity retracement level. So through here is an area that we can look to come down and test. So let's get rid of that one. An old one. Perfect. So I would like to see a little bit of weakness in the DXY. If there's a little bit of weakness in the DXY, that gives strength to Bitcoin. However, DXY can stay a little bit stronger if Bitcoin, if the DXY starts, sorry, I had to think about that. If the DXY starts to go up, that will give us a little bit more weakness in Bitcoin, which will get it to come back to that buyer's liquidity area, which would be very nice. So if we we get a little bit of strength in the US dollar, that'll give weakness in Bitcoin, a little bit of weakness in the S&P 500, and we can start to look for those retracement positions so we can position for the long uptrend, and so we can take a move on that. I'm not looking at, let me state, I would look at taking a short from this area. If we were to move up onto, if we were to push up and touch this zone at 5600, I would be looking at taking shorts, because we would be, there's a good chance we would be overextended in the regressive trend channel, which would want us to start to pull back to the mean, wherever that is. Maybe it might be sitting up here, but I would look for levels to enter into, to short back to. I would also look at Bitcoin from the short side. So if price comes up, blows through, I would be looking at taking a short at 59,800. That would be an area that I would be looking for shorts, because if we come up and we test, if we break through this, we might just consolidate down. But if we start to test this, that's a real area of significance. That's a real wick, because this is like an internal wick of this move. So if we're to look at this as one lower high, before we come up to go lower high, within here we've got internal. So we've got higher high, higher high, higher high, lower high. And so that move, now we've got another lower high. So that looks dizzy as all buggery, but that is a lower high within this greater move. So it has less weight, but it's definitely an area of rejection and an area of resistance. But to take a move towards the short, from the short position, you want to be really extended outside or at that borderline. I would prefer to be outside the line of the regressive trend channel to come back in and be pulled back into the average and back into another potential imbalance. But this is the area that we're looking for, and it makes more sense to go for buys, because that is where we would that is where we would have the most potential. Having said that, we're also kind of coming into London session, where London can give us a bit of a whipsaw in direction. It may have a touch of continuation for the Asian session, but the US is what's going to send us, or definitely from 10:30 tonight, that's going to send us in a direction of its own choosing, not where we're going right now. So they're my two positions. Let's just put in a sell zone up here. Short position. Alright, and PY long, point of interest long. So they're my two zones that I'm looking at to move as we come up through this regressive trend channel for Bitcoin. Alright, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. Alright, happy trading everyone. Ciao.